The information in this video is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Morale Monologue. My name is Michael Morale. In today's episode, I want to tell you what happened to me 2 weeks ago. Well, actually it started about 3 months ago, but it officially happened 2 weeks ago when I went into UT Southwestern Medical Center for my annual physical therapy assessment. These assessments happen to all of us that are going through active treatment with Biogen's drug Spinraza. And these assessments basically just judge what type of differences we've seen while on therapy, and they can measure the amount of muscle strength or loss that's occurred within that time frame. So I'm going to talk to you about that today. And I'm also going to give you some other information that happened during the evaluation that I think you'll find interesting. But before we do this, please take a moment and listen to a word from our sponsor, and I'll be right back. Thank you.
This vlog was made possible by a sponsorship from Avexis, a clinical stage gene therapy company relentlessly focused on bringing gene therapy out of the lab and into the clinical setting for patients and families devastated by rare and life-threatening neurological genetic diseases. To understand how gene therapy is changing the way we see genetic diseases, check out exploregenetherapy.com. www.exploregenetherapy.com. Explore Gene Therapy is a resource for learning more about gene therapy, including its history and how it is being studied. Visit www.exploregenetherapy.com.
Okay, so about 3 months ago, I received a phone call from UT Southwestern Medical Center, and they told me that it was time to come in for my annual physical therapy assessment. And there was a little bit of confusion because I thought by going through physical therapy like I'm doing once a week with my physical therapist, Emily and Laura, that they were sending in the reports that my doctor needed to sign off on. And I thought that that's what they were talking about. So I explained what I was doing, and for some reason there was a long pause on the line, and they said, well, this may suffice, so let us check into it, and then we'll call you back if we have any questions. Well, about a month and a half later, they called me and they said, well, the physical therapy assessments that my therapists are doing is not really what they needed. They needed their physical therapist there so that they could go through the testing that is required by either your insurance company or even the FDA while you're on active treatment with Spinraza. So this assessment was going to be totally different than what I go through on a weekly basis, or actually every 4 weeks whenever we do my evaluations. So I went back to UT Southwestern Medical Center about 2 weeks ago, and this is the facility that I get all of my injections through. And I'm scheduled for March, July, and November of this year for all of my maintenance dose injections. And this assessment needed to happen before my injection in March. So when I went in there, I signed in, and the physical therapist that was going to be performing the assessment looked at me, and when I looked at her, we both immediately recognized each other. She was the guest speaker at the 2018 annual Cure SMA conference that was held in my hometown of Dallas, Texas, back in June of 2018. And she spoke about the benefits of physical therapy and the benefits that those of us with SMA could see if we decide to take physical therapy while on our treatments. So she and I knew each other, and I immediately felt much more comfortable about the situation. I was a little bit nervous as to what this test was going to reveal, but to my surprise, it was just a general test of my upper body, or actually my upper extremity, range of motion and strength. I had to push a weight from one side of the table to the other. I had to put a penny in a jar, and I just had to do some other exercises and demonstrate that these treatments have actually been beneficial to me. And I did pretty well on the test. She said that these assessments are not necessarily meant to remove you from taking the Spinraza treatments. They're just a good baseline or a judgment as to whether or not you're seeing any benefits while on treatment. So after the assessment was over, we sat and talked about physical therapy. And I gave her some of the statistical data that my physical therapist have given me regarding my results. And she was very impressed at the amount of positives that I've seen through physical therapy. And I know most of you are probably tired of me talking about physical therapy. But I've been a big advocate of it because of the fact that if we're on treatment, I think you'll see a greater benefit to your overall physical strength if you take physical therapy. So that's the reason why I talk about it as much as I do. So I apologize if I bore you, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I hope that you're taking physical therapy while you're on your treatment with Spinraza. So anyway, we finished our discussion, and she also told me that usually in the fall semester of every year, they bring in a guest speaker, and so that they can talk about different diseases and the benefits that these patients can have with physical therapy. And they give these demonstrations to all of the physical therapy students that are trying to get what they call their DPT, or Doctorate of Physical Therapy. And so the physical therapist that was assessing me told me that they were looking for a guest speaker regarding SMA and physical therapy, and she asked me to do this, and I told her it would be my honor to speak in front of her students. One of the funny things that she said was, she asked me, she said, "Do you have any problems with speaking in front of a large group of people?" And I told her that, like her, I taught college for over 18 years. So if I could survive speaking in front of the students that I taught, I think I could handle her students as well. So anyway, I'm scheduled to go in sometime either in September or October to speak to her students, and I'm extremely excited about it. One other thing that I did find out was the therapist was also an employee of Avexis Pharmaceuticals. And as most of you have already heard, Avexis is trying to get approval for their drug, Zolgen SMA, passed through the FDA to become the second FDA-approved treatment for spinal muscular atrophy. And my best guess is that this will get passed sometime either in May or June of this year. Now, remember, it's only going to be available right now for those infants that are 9 months of age or younger with SMA type 1, but they are working on and developing an intrathecal delivery system for those of us that are older with SMA types 2 and 3. So I've said this in the past, and I'm going to say it again. We have a lot to look forward to, so keep a smile on your face. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Morale Monologue. If you did, please subscribe to the SMA News Today YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. We at SMA News Today hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And until next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.